Good afternoon, everybody. It's the Cryptid Huntress. Happy early Thanksgiving to everybody. Thank y'all so much for being here today. Gosh, we have a wonderful show lined up for y'all. We have a surprise extra guest today. Y'all knew that John Vandeventer was going to be here, one of our favorite authors with the Relics book series. But we also have the beautiful author D.A. Wysong here in the studio with us as well, and I cannot wait to get them up on the screen. We're going to be talking about John's recent Bigfoot activity on his property today near Honobia, Oklahoma. Okay, and much more today. We have many things to cover, so y'all buckle up. We're in for a wild ride down another rabbit hole today, as always. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are like me. You got to get ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow. I do have to do some cooking today. We're throwing some casseroles together, okay, and stuff. So hopefully you guys are doing that while you're listening to me today. I think that's awesome. And yes, okay, let's get to our show actually. And but before we get to our show, if you guys would like to check out my, let me get the ticker up there. If you'd like to check out my archives of all my shows, my social media links, anything you need, y'all go over to my website. That's the cryptidhuntress.com. You can find all the links to all of my social media stuff, and including my Patreon. And I have a shop. It's called War Woman Goods. And it is almost Christmas, so y'all go shop with me over there on Etsy. Okay, and it's one word all smushed together, War Woman Goods. Okay, and that's how you find me over there. And I want to thank everybody for shopping with me already. For the holidays. I do have some more stuff to add to the shop today. I keep trying to add more stuff over and over again. And I actually just got this little foot pendant in as well. I sell vintage Native American jewelry. I got a Bigfoot pendant with turquoise in it. I think I'm going to keep this one. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But anyways, this is the kind of stuff I have in my shop if you guys are interested. Okay, let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it. Okay, so on this episode of a glitch in the matrix, where we usually get a little glitchy, y'all, hopefully not today, we have Relics author John Vandeventer and Monster Hunters of America author D.A. Wysong, and we're going to be discussing, of course, the Bigfoots on John's property, the siege of Honobia. We're going to get into a little bit of SWAN, what is that, SWAN 25 and 3-Eye Atlas. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. And on Monday, if you guys were watching on Monday, with Barry Littleton, we got into the Miami Mall incident update and how the person who is holding a video of whatever happened in that mall has become an enemy of the state. And I'm going to ask John about that today because, you know, John is a veteran of the U.S. Air Force, and I think he's probably got some opinions on that. John Vandeventer is originally from Plano, Texas. He's a 16-year veteran of the U.S. Air Force. And of course, he has a lifelong interest in UFOs and military aviation history. He's been a guest on many Bigfoot paranormal podcasts. He's also a guest speaker for a couple of different years at the Honobia Bigfoot Festival. He's been an MC for the festival for multiple years as well. And he has a book series called Relics, the fiction adult series, and also the Nepal fiction adult series, and the Shadow Chasers young adult book series. I love all of them. I have all of them, and I have read most of them. Okay, and they are some of my favorite books, y'all. So please go to relicsbooks.com and get your copies for the holidays. D.A. Wysong is an international paranormal fiction author and researcher of over 50 books, including her best-selling series, Monster Hunters of America. With so many ideas constantly coming her way, her latest ambition is to live long enough to get them all into paper. She keeps her muses alive through paranormal experiences, travel, music, and research. She resides in northern Kentucky, and her favorite genre is everything paranormal with supernatural tendencies. She sounds right up my alley. I think we're going to be good friends. Okay, y'all, please help me welcome to the show our dear friend, John Vandeventer. Hey, John.
Hey, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, John. Thank you so much for being here, John. And we have D.A. Wysong. Hey, D.A., thank you so much for being here today.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Of course, it is a pleasure meeting you, and I'm so glad you're here.
So glad to meet you too. And it's good to see John again.
Well, thank you. John, how have you been? Give us an update. What's going on?
Oh, I'm doing a lot better. I guess I'm going to have one more treatment for the cancer, but it's a proton treatment. It's going to take 7 weeks. Supposedly, it's not going to be anything like what I went through this time last year. So, I'm ready to go get it going. The big tumor I had is all gone. There's just a couple of little ones they want to hit with this proton therapy. So, I'll be away from home for 7 weeks in Oklahoma City getting that done. And after that, they say I should be cancer free. So, looking forward to get going on it.
Oh yeah, well we always have continued prayers sent your way, and we're
Well,
always
thank
thinking
you.
about you. Oh yeah.
Well, I'm glad my hair grew back.
Oh good. Well, that's good.
This time last year, I looked like a turtle somebody jerked out of its shell. So I actually had my second haircut of the year last year, and I couldn't be happier. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was kind of joking around with you last night. We were messaging back and forth, and I was like, well, maybe we can talk about the things we're thankful for on the show tomorrow. I was like, including Bigfoot, and what you wrote back, you were like, I'm just happy to be here. I'm thankful, and I'm thankful that you're here too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. That's wonderful, John. I'm so glad. I'm glad you're doing okay. And you're here. Are you still writing? Have you been writing books?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I've redone my very first Relics book, and it should have been out last year, but of course the sickness hit. And the publisher I have it with, they've been very gracious, and we've been hitting it pretty hard the last few weeks. And there's 4 chapters left to edit, and then I'm going to re-release the book as a 3rd edition. So looking forward to that. Plus, I'm writing the second and in the fall series, and that's gonna be the end of. That's gonna end because it's tied to Relic, so that's gonna bring that whole thing to an end. The whole series, except I got one more book, Relics 4, to plug in the middle, and it'll be Relics 4, Bridge to the Fall, just to link the 2 series together. And then I'm gonna move on to other stories, and hopefully DA and I have a iron in the fire about co-authoring a novel before too long. So hopefully, we can get that done. So yeah, I'm trying to stay busy. Sometimes, get a lot of interruptions. We've had a new grandchild nearly 2 weeks ago come in, and it's just got to get things done when I can. And I'm just now, the last 2 months felt physically better to do it. So just glad to be here.
Oh man, I'm so glad, John. I'm so glad you're here.
Yes,
and
definitely.
DA, I love that your series is the Monster Hunters of America. I am a monster hunter myself.
I know you're one of the original gangsters.
Oh man, I mean, I'm not an OG. I mean, I'm OG to the kids probably, but
yeah.
But that's it. I love that. How did you get interested in monster hunting?
I've just always been fascinated with the paranormal in general. And, I started out when I was writing with my Creeper Keeper series, which was a 14-book series with, just hauntings and urban legends and that kind of thing. And I've always been fascinated with Bigfoot and just knowing that there's something else out there. You know what I mean? Different species other than ourselves. And so I started just, I don't know how, I mean, it's just, I was telling John today how I woke up today with another idea for the chapter in my current book I'm writing. A lot of it just comes to me. That's why I kind of have to isolate myself so that I can get that muses, coming in. It just made sense to go with Monster Hunters because it's really wild how it all started out because I don't write an outline. I really don't know how which way I'm going to go. But when I started with the series, it is actually called Rise of the Cryptids. And I thought it was going to be the last book of the series, and it turned into be the first book of the series. And the protagonist, Deanna Slosh, is, of course, based on myself. And the next thing I knew, it was started in Nazi Germany. So basically, Monster Hunters of America, by the time you get to book 3 into book 4, is her grandson. So she passes away and the mantle is handed down to her. So she's the original monster hunter from the time of Nazi Germany. And then, of course, she has archives through all her investigations, everything from, 1944 up until that 1999 when they start taking that mantle on. And of course, I just thought, well, I need to give America a little shout out. So I just added America onto that, which I just absolutely love. And so they basically are, carrying the mantle over from Deanna, and they're on a covert team that's connected to the CIA. So they're like the first people that go out, they get the case, they come in, and then they start investigating, determine the existence. So they've been on a wild ride, let me tell you.
Gosh.
So this book that John's getting ready to, that he actually wrote the foreword to my Hunting for Bigfoot, which will be out next month, is the 19th book of the series. So
wow.
I've got 7 more books after that, and I'm projecting that'll be finished by June of 2026. And then, like John mentioned, we were going to start collaborating on a book together. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully by next summer, we'll be working on that. So that's,
wow.
Basically the cryptids, they're, like right now is the Bigfoot, which is kind of ironic because Bigfoot is what really got me into that particular part of the paranormal. And it's the 19th book, you know what I mean? So, and then after that's going to be, and the next book will be Men in Black. So I try to get a wide range. It's just like I get covers that come to me, the name, then the covers, and then I just put it on the shelf, and then I just pick a book out that I'm going to work on. So December's the big lucky month for the Bigfoot.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. I cannot wait to check your books out. They sound really cool. I was thinking on Saturday night, I had my good buddy, Harley Owens, on the show with me, and we got into the history behind Dogman. And I have a friend of mine who is he's kind of an insider. I kind of run things past him before I put things out to the public sometimes to make sure I'm on the right track with the Dogman stuff. And he told me, and and Harley and I discussed this on Saturday, that, speaking of Germany and German scientists, there was a man, Joseph Mengele, I think, had done some weird experiments back during the World War II era, where they were going and digging up known werewolves in Germany and all over Europe and taking their bones and cloning them and stuff.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he was part of Paper. I mean, I haven't looked lately, but I think he was part of the Project Paperclip over with Plum Island, which is all about my second book, which is Unleashed. And I actually just asked I don't know if you're familiar with Andrew Gow. He is a world-renowned lecturer and about mysteries of the ancient lands, architecture, and he does he has a network called the Conspiracy Hour. But I told him he agreed to write the foreword for the first 2 books, but everything that is coming out right now with this disclosure is in that book, Unleashed.
No way.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
It's about the Plum Island and the Roswell crash and how everything was suppressed, and every day I get on social media and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to start promoting this book again because it's just that time, it's time for things to be unleashed. Literally, we're in a definite time of disclosure. That's for sure.
We are
trickling out. It's just trickling out every day, all the way to it starts with I guess 1944 and Unleashed. So can imagine the MK mind control, the Majestic 12, Roswell, the White House incident, and goes all the way to JFK assassination. So
oh yeah I want to take a quick break real quick to thank Maureen and Gus. Thank you so much, the girl and her gong, Maureen and Gus, for the super sticker. She says, much love everyone from me and Gus. Get John's books. Yes, and DA's books too. Thank you so much, Maureen. That is so sweet. Maureen is a big supporter, has always been a big supporter of yours, John, and so it's so wonderful. Thank you so much, Maureen.
I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
John's got some good books.
Yes, thank you.
I love his Shadow Chasers too. That's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah. I also see Judy Wheeler in here. Judy, happy birthday. I saw it was your birthday on Facebook a while ago. I think it's either today or yesterday, but happy birthday, Judy. And so, yeah, we have the best chat room and live audience on the internet, by the way. I just want to let y'all know. We always do. And okay, so Dia, you were talking about Plum Island, and I had the pleasure of going up to Montauk, New York, about 2 years ago on a trip with some friends who were actually survivors of the Montauk Project.
Oh my God.
Up there. And we spent a week up at Montauk. We stayed in the Hamptons basically, but I did some Bigfooting at Camp Hero with my friends who are historians out there and Bigfooters and some of the Montauk survivors up there, right across from Plum Island.
That's beautiful right there. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. It was awesome. It was really wild. It was. And but I got to learn about Brookhaven Labs, and that's something else that I talked about on Saturday night with Harley, or all these energy center, like these Department of Energy places all over the United States. And they say they have these like large ion colliders underneath them. And we're thinking, we're kind of connecting the dots. We're like, well, maybe that's why there's so much cryptid activity around some of these areas.
Well, you know, with Plum Island, that's where when the Project Paperclip came in, they basically, the worst of the worst, had the option to go get tried as crimes against humanity, or they could be hired onto the United States and go work at Plum Island. And that's basically what they all did. So, yeah, and that's where the hybrids and the experimentation and the doctor you mentioned earlier, all that comes into that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like Dr. Moreau.
Dr. Moreau.
Yeah, it's kind of
that's right.
Definitely.
Well, I actually, my good friend Jimmy Payne is coming on the show, and actually, it's going to be in about a month. We're bringing him back on, and he said that he actually knows the real Dr. Moreau, and he's going to come talk to us about that. I think it's like New Year's Day.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's wild. Well, speaking of cryptids and critters, I'm going to talk to John a little bit about what he's had going on his property.
I know.
Up in Honobia, if I pronounce it right, John. What's been going on?
Well, you know, jumping into it, you know, when we first moved here in 2018, we had a lot going on for about the first 2 years. And I mean, I had my first sighting, and we had weird stuff like I brought a big, huge swimming pool from Texas, and it was way away from the road. And I'd come in the evenings and get in the pool and clean it, and I'd find these, you know, shot put sized rocks in the pool. And the only place you could pick those up and throw them was from the road. Well, there's no way a human could have thrown those rocks that far. And so I just always made a joke. First, I thought maybe Monica was doing it, but, you know, she's not going to pick up a rock that big just to, you know, and carry it all the way over there. So, and then Monica was always collecting these little pine cones, and we have a like stone ledge in our carport, and you go out there in the morning, these little pine cones would be stacked up there, like somebody was watching her and bringing her pine cones. And like I said, I had a sighting along the property line. We were getting a lot of vocalizations and things like that on the North Mountain, which were butted up against. Another night, it was just a shadow, but I could have sworn I saw another one by a carport we have over on the side of the property. And I went over there and there was nothing there, but there was just a lot of things happening. A lot of things happening that weren't really Bigfoot related. And then everything just died off because they'd started harvesting timber on the mountains to the north. And I figured, well, if they're up there, they've moved deeper into the forest or something to get away from the timber stuff. Now, one rule of thumb here is during Bigfoot weekend, when we have the festival and the conference, you don't take anything serious you hear, because there's people camping and they're all banging on trees and making Bigfoot vocalizations, you know. And what's funny is sometimes you'll actually hear them where they're going back and forth with each other. It'll be a group of people though, and they, I think they think that we're on the one here. Yeah, and it's kind of humorous to sit out here on the Saturday night and listen to that. But this was a couple of weeks after. It was just a couple of weeks ago when we had the full moon again. Monica and I were sitting outside. Well, she was sitting out in the carport, and I walked out, and it was dark, and I was petting the dogs. And I heard this, double crack, 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 and it was really loud. It was like right in our tree line, and it's a classic wood knock. And I was like, "Did you hear that?" And she said, "Yeah, I heard it." And I said, "Haven't heard that in a while, have we?" And she said, "No." And then we hear it again, and for the next couple of nights we were hearing it. And then one thing all this treatment and all this medication's done for me is I can't sleep well. So I get up in the middle of the night. Sometimes I'll just walk outside, get some fresh air, and I may walk down the road a little bit, something just to try and get sleepy again. And I walked out, and I was petting the dogs as usual, and I heard a crack just, maybe 100 feet from my house, just across the road on this other bit of property I have. And then I heard another crack to my left, and I looked over, and I looked back, and I looked, and then. And it was a full moon, and it's amazing how bright it is out here in the middle of nowhere with a full moon. I mean, you don't realize, when you're in the city, you just don't realize how much light a full moon gives off. Mm-hmm. And so I'm looking back where I heard the other crack, and there's this classic Bigfoot shape, kind of in shadow, in the tree line. And I'm thinking, okay, I even went. Kind of had a little bit of a go around with Scott Carpenter because a guy had taken a picture of my property of what looked like a Bigfoot, but all it was a shadow made by some vines and stuff. And I actually went and took a picture of the vines at daylight, showed Sky to it, and I said, "See, that's a Bigfoot shape." So I was wanting to make sure I wasn't doing the same thing. So I'm looking at it, and it looks like it's just doing this swaying back and forth thing. And I'm thinking, well, they're known to do that. And then I thought, well, it may just be the breeze blowing the bushes. So I just knelt down. I kept my eyes on it, and I brought up some leaves and dropped them. They just straight down. I couldn't feel the breeze, and obviously there wasn't one. And then a cloud came in front of the moon, and it got dark. And when the cloud moved out of the way, the shape wasn't there anymore. And I had kept my position, stayed looking at it, but it wasn't there anymore. And so I'm thinking, well, if it was when he moved, and I kind of laughed because I thought I didn't hear it. I didn't see it, So if it was one, the stealth attributes that thing had were amazing because I never heard a leaf rustle or a twig snap or anything. And I started thinking maybe it made sense. I'd come outside and they were on the move, and the one across the road just like popped a tree to tell the other one, "Hey, stop! There's a human here." My neighbor who lived across the road, he was killed in an accident a couple of years ago. And when I had my first sighting, I asked him about it. I said, like, "Have you ever seen?" He's lived here his whole life, and he was Choctaw. He's like, "Oh yeah, there's a game show right behind my house. They take that to the river all the time." And he was just like nonchalant about it. So this would have been using the same route, that he had spoken of. So, but it was the first thing that had happened in years here. So it was kind of cool, to see it coming on again. Because I just about, after a couple of years and nothing happened, you start wondering, did I see what I think I saw 4 or 5 years ago? Did I hear what I think I heard? So when it started up again, it was like, okay, I am in that area, and these things can happen. And the funny thing about it is that's not the only weird thing we've had happen here. We're on a weird spot, but there's just nothing scary about this place. It is so peaceful. You can even go through that, and it's just like wasn't any different than a deer walking across the property. Well, it is different because it's a little cooler, but it's just hard to. This just isn't a scary place. I guess I just benefit from the peace and quiet here that just take, hey, if that's part of living here, that's part of living here, and just roll with it,
Oh yeah. Well, you have some strange things that go on around your house because I sent you a link to a video that you and I did about what is that, a year or two ago, probably about a year ago, 2 years ago.
I
And we
know,
were talking
and that's
and
another
your
thing.
door opened by itself during our show.
Yes, I know. And that door never did it before, and it's never done it since. That's the only time that's ever happened. And that's a kind of, and I'm, my property borders the Choctaw Cemetery, and I've had some strange stuff, and I want to talk about, but then again, I don't want like ghost hunters or something coming out here either. It's kind of a like, because my neighbor's relatives are in that cemetery, and I know they wouldn't appreciate. So you kind of, and I noticed too that for a while I had Bigfoot hunters coming and looking me up, and I kind of got away from the Bigfoot because I'm like, what am I doing to my neighbors? Are they getting on my neighbor's property? Look what, because they'll come up and they'll interrupt you, and it's like, okay, dude, this is your day off. You're on vacation. I got to work. I don't want to be rude, but it also, the thought of somebody coming around, snooping around that cemetery at night, I think, man, I don't go over that cemetery because, not that I'm scared to, but because to me, it's a place of rest for these people's ancestors, and I'm not going to take my white rear end over there and snoop around, I mean, even if it weren't Choctaw, just the locals, their cemetery, there's a lot of people that have been here for generations, and I'm a newcomer, and I don't feel comfortable going into, areas of, where their families buried, things like that. I don't know. I just look at it as kind of rude and stuff. So yeah, if I sure wouldn't want people coming up here, like, bringing cameras and microphones, and what are them sensors they have now the Ghostbusters use, or,
Yeah.
I would just be horrified
Yeah.
if that were to happen.
Well, that is sacred
But I
land.
can't think, but yeah. Well, now the Choctaw were moved here in 1812 during the Trail of Tears. Originally, it was the Osage and the Caddo Indians that settled this place. Matter of fact, when you find an arrowhead or something, it's probably Osage or Caddo, because I think by the time the Choctaw were here, they were starting to make their arrowheads out of metal. Plus,
Wow.
they were getting firearms and stuff too by that time. So,
Wow. Oh my gosh.
and I think it was later in 1812 they moved.
Wow.
Go
Well,
ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, okay, so you have that cemetery by your house, John. It's right there, right down the road. And the thing that got me was when I was watching that video, I went back and watched it last night, and it was when your door opened all by itself during our show. I had just started talking about black shuck. Okay, we were talking about hellhounds that day.
Yeah.
And we were talking about black shuck, and you had told me before I sent you that clip that you had been having a lot of black animals show up around your house recently, right?
Yeah, and they're still here. I've got, well, of course, the black dog I brought from Texas, Opie. I got 3 black feral cats that hiss and growl at me while I feed them, but I feed them, because when they first came on the property, they were skinny as my finger, and I felt sorry and started feeding them. Now I got this black. It's not a crow and it's not a raven, just a small blackbird, and he hops right up to my feet everywhere. I don't think he can fly, and he waits till I throw him down some dog food or some bird feed, and he's eating that. And the funny thing, you're talking about that door open. That door's pointed right toward that graveyard.
No.
It points south right at the graveyard. So
You also had a black
and yeah, you
house,
tickled
right?
me when you said that. I had forgotten all about that.
Yeah, on your wall.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
The black shadow that came across your wall.
Yeah, yeah, I bet. Well, I think that's how we got on that black dog because I told you about the um. Well, I'd also seen a black shadow out one evening, and I thought it was my dog Opie had run under the truck, and I walked out there and I looked down to see what he was doing, and there wasn't anything under there. And when I saw it, and this sounds silly, but there was like I heard a guitar strum over the top of my head. Like I looked up, like I thought, what was that? And I saw the black thing go under the truck, and then next thing I know, I didn't say anything to Monica, and if you know Monica, she just starts rebuking something. I'm like, what's going on? She goes, this see-through panther or something just walked through the flowers. So we had seen the same thing, and I hadn't even mentioned it to her yet, and it was just boom, boom, all that stuff happened. And then just before I got sick, one night I was laying in bed, and I actually could see this black shadow on my ceiling. And I'm like, look at it. It was kind of man-shaped, and I guess I handled it wrong because I just started cussing, get the hell out of my, get out of here, go away. And, I should have just let Monica rebuke it her way. Now, 10 years ago, this kind of stuff would have scared me to death. But when I met Monica and she, she reads from the Torah and this and that every day. And I started studying some of the stuff. And I always thought demons and fallen angels, I always thought they were one thing, but after looking through the Torah and books of Enoch and this and that, fallen angels are fallen angels. They are angels that have cast down or come down and rebelled. They are a whole complete different animal from demons. And I believe that the demons, they're just a disembodied spirit of the dead Nephilim. And yeah, they can hurt you, they can do, but they are 100% susceptible to the use of Jesus's name. You call that, they have to flee. They go away. I mean, yeah, they can give you a hard time. They can mess with you. If you allow it, they can possess. But they're not on the same level as a fallen angel in my book. I don't ever want to have to deal with a fallen angel. I don't want to have to deal with a demon. But if I had my choice, and it's a choice I don't want to make, I'd take the lesser of the two. But I guess that's why I'm not fearful anymore, because of my faith and stuff now, and I know that there is spiritual warfare, and you have to put on your armor every day and fight it. So it doesn't really scare me now. 10 years ago, I'd have probably left this place the first night, but and rarely nothing happens anymore. You just get your little like 2 or 3 days, weird stuff will happen, and something might not happen for a year. Now we had that Bigfoot activity here a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just not ready to go public with something else that's happened here. I want to do some more studying on it, but nothing's really scary. It's just not. I don't know.
It's becoming natural.
No, it's not your everyday occurrence, but
it's just becoming the supernatural.
Yeah, it just seems like it's a neighborhood. Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna live in this neighborhood. That's what's here. And that's the way you have to look at it.
It comes with the territory, is what you're saying.
My neighbors are different. Yeah.
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 Yes.
Exactly. And I've never lived in close proximity to a cemetery, so I don't know if all this weird kind of stuff going on is part and parcel with living next to a cemetery, any cemetery. But I do know that for having such a fairly docile life experience since I've been here, I've had the Bigfoot, I've had the UFOs, I've had the lights in the mountains, I've had the shadow things, and now I've had something else. And and I guess it's just there. Who knows what kind of curses or what all's happened here on these grounds, So there's no telling what you know, I do believe there's another dimension and there's things we can't see. And so, you know, you have no idea what's walking around here.
Well, John, there's actually a pretty well-known case out of Honobia, and they call it the Siege of Honobia. Now, how close would that be to where you live?
It's actually 2.5 miles as the crows flies that away. I know one of the brothers that was part of it, and he's a very nice guy. He lost his wife to cancer a couple of years ago, and you know, I talked to him about, hey, do you want to do would you like to do a book on what happened, and you could tell your side of the story? And he was like, no, I don't. If I'm going to do a book, I'll do it myself. I was like, okay. And but you know, one problem he has, he says, you know, when all that was going on, and it's going just like, and what happened is just exactly what we said happened. He goes, a lot of the people around there were making fun of us and laughing at us. And he said, now those very same people are making money every year at the Bigfoot Festival. So he's kind of, you know, and I can kind of understand that, you know. They were locals, and, you know, they were kind of, to hear him say it, they were kind of laughed out of the territory. And so, and he lives in Tallahena now. And I could kind of see how he would feel that way.
Oh yeah, John, we have a question, and this is my question too. What happened with the Siege of Honobia? Can you tell us a little, like, give us an overview of what happened?
Okay, now as far as I know it, and just going from memory, these two brothers, and I believe their father they had 10 to 20 acres over here, just to the southeast of my place, and it was along the river. And they started having deer and stuff taken out of their freezer at night, or out of their smokehouse, what I forget.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started getting pounding on the walls, and then the things started actually showing themselves and making screams and growling. They would come to the window, their children's windows, and growl and, you know, bang on the walls. And in fact, one of the I guess they have a sister, or maybe it was a cousin, came and brought her children one day, and the friend I have, the brother I'm friends with, heard a car horn honk, and he went out there and he found his cousin, or she was curled up under the steering wheel of the car, and she was saying monsters were trying to get in the car. And so I think after a little bit of that, enough was enough with them. They sent their wives and children away to town, and the two of them stayed out there. Well, one night they ended up shooting one, and they were going to go, you know, drag it into town and show everybody. But when they tried to approach on it, I don't know how many now, I can't remember, but it was a large number of them came down and got, but like they weren't going to let them get to that body. And so they ended up backing away, and the thing took the body. And now I don't know who the owner of the store was at the time, and I haven't confirmed this, but I heard the morning after all that happened, the trucker stopped at the little store here and asked about, hey, do y'all have Bigfoot things and things here? And I guess whoever was working said, yeah, well, we had reports. And he said, well, I just saw one carrying one over his shoulder across the highway in front of me.
Wow.
So
No.
after the shooting, I think everything went quiet, but then they moved. And I've actually met the guy that's living in that house now at a party one night, and he says he's never had any problems. So, but the actual siege was in 2000, so it's 25 years ago now. So
That's wild.
Yeah, it is. It is.
and
it's only about
actually the fact that they had that many causing that many problems. That was kind of when I was writing my first Bigfoot book, Relics. When I was writing the first book, I never considered a group of them like that, so I kind of adopted that part of it to use in my book. And I didn't make the setting here in Honobia. I made it, 24 miles north of here in Tallahassee. But yeah, I just thought it was a fascinating story. And if anybody's interested, not to take any of your traffic away, but if you go to Sasquatch Chronicles, it's episode 11. If you ever want to hear the Siege of Honobia, it's pretty
You
interesting.
actually sent that to me when I was in the hospital a couple of years ago, and I remember that was like terrifying.
Yeah, that's
they were
right.
so aggressive.
Man, do you have? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, the brother I talked to, he said that's exactly how it went.
Mm-hmm. Sounds terrifying.
No, go ahead.
It does. It sounds really scary. I was going to ask DA if, you live out in Kentucky, so I was going to ask if I don't know if you live out in the country or where, but have you ever had any Bigfoot activity?
I'm actually currently in northern Kentucky, which is in a little village, a little town along the Ohio River, right across from Cincinnati. So I have never had an experience with a live cryptid. I've had lots of paranormal experiences, but nothing with a cryptid, only in my imagination for now. But when I was sitting there listening to John talking about like all the activity on the land, and then he had shared with me the shadow climbing across the ceiling, which I've had that happen to me before, and then the UFO. I just think that probably when I do get out boots on the ground, that I would not be surprised if I have an experience pretty quick, because I think it is all tied in together. I think once you're open to certain phenomena, I just think it's like a hitchhiker effect. It all comes together. So it would make sense that people like, especially out there where John lives, it's natural for it to happen. It's just like when people have paranormal experiences, it's not really that supernatural anymore. It's just like a second nature. I
agree 100%. Yeah, I think it's the people too. That's been my experience. It's like,
everything.
It's the people you take out there with you too, and I think it's a frequency that you get on. That's what I believe is like when you have an experience with an ET or a Bigfoot, it kind of jolts you into a whole other frequency, and then you're open to everything else.
I do feel like it has something to do with their pineal gland too. Mm-hmm. I think some people's pineal gland are just so calcified they are not having the experiences.
Yes. That's right. That's why I work on my psychic skills as often as possible, and why my entire team, one of my Bigfoot research teams, is we're all trained in remote viewing, and we work our psychic muscles often. Okay.
I would love to learn how to do that. I just admire you for having that gift. I just think it's so fascinating. I've heard a couple of your shows. Like the one that really stands out is when you went to Alaska with another remote viewer in the Black Pyramid. That was my favorite story.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was Tanya.
One of my favorites. Yes. I mean, I love that it's like you're using both sides of your brain. You're using the intuitive side, and then you've got the coordinates, and you're using your logic. Mm-hmm. I just think that's so fascinating.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love it. But I think it helps when you have those experiences with the cryptids and the UFOs and all that, because they are on a different level, a different frequency. And when we can try to raise our frequency to theirs, and I say raise, sometimes it might be dropping, I don't know. But you get on that same level. That's when you're on that same radio wave, basically. And that's when all the magic happens.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, John, what were you saying?
You're speaking of frequencies, and I kind of agree with you. No, I agree with you on the frequencies, because everything I've had happen except the shadow on the ceiling, I'm looking toward that graveyard. I'm looking in that direction. That's where I saw the Bigfoot. That's where I saw the UFO. That's where the shadow thing came from. That's the direction I saw the little lights on the mountain. And that's right where I saw what I saw last week. I'm not ready to talk about yet. So, and the reason I don't want to talk about it is because I've never heard of anything like this. and I got to be honest with you guys, I question my
Sanity?
anything I may see or something right now because of, well, no,
Well, you know
all
we're
the
getting you on
all the
backstage, and we're going to
drugs
find
I've
out
been
what
on
you're
since the
talking
chemo,
about.
and my body has just been slammed with chemicals, and I just, you know, I'm still wondering, did I see that or do I just think I saw that? You know, and I just, yeah, I'm not comfortable talking about it yet, so I won't. Not because it's some big scary thing. It's just because it was like, well, that's about the stupidest thing I ever. But anyway,
You don't have some like
I don't
little
know. I want to wait till I
leprechaun.
got a year with no doctors sticking me full of something to. Yeah.
You have some little leprechaun running around your property with a pink unicorn or something.
Some little people or
My
something.
imagination's running wild now.
Well, here's the thing: is that no matter what, it's not that crazy to me, John. It doesn't
Me
matter what you
neither.
got
What
out
did the
there.
mafia guy say in court?
That's funny.
You definitely
One of them
listen.
guys,
Nothing
the
is too
mafia
wild.
guys say in court was the Fifth Amendment, whatever, where they don't
I
have
plead the fifth.
to say anything.
He did see a unicorn, Jazz.
Hey, I'm
Well,
coming out there to
let me go a
investigate,
few
John.
months on. You know, I want to get to the point in life where I'm no longer doing prescribed stuff. What's that?
Well, I said we're gonna come out there and investigate your property for you. How about that? No cameras. We won't bring cameras.
I think we should just do remote viewing,
Okay.
Jessica.
That is a
remote viewing.
brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. Thank you, DA. Yes, I could absolutely. I could have my team remote view your property as a
That
blind
would
target.
be fascinating.
I think maybe we should. Well, I have to get John's permission first and Monica's permission too, and we could do that and find out what's really going on out there.
Hey, and you might get the intel on what he saw that he won't share yet. You might see it.
Well, I already know what he saw because he told me, but we're not going to talk about it.
Have to tell me.
Yes, I have an idea. I know what it is, kind of, but I also don't know what it is. So I think it's interesting that there's so much there, and the fact that
do I have to worry about you folding under questioning?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would never, John. Never.
You would never do that.
You can try me. You can try me. Unicorns. It's a unicorn. No, I'm just kidding.
I did have a question for John, if that's okay.
Yes, please go ahead.
When he had that, we had talked when he shared the experience he had when he saw Bigfoot. I was just curious if he went back out there and checked out the area to see if there was any kind of prints or anything, because I actually came in contact with another Bigfoot researcher, and I actually have thought about when I get out boots on the ground, I want to get a Geiger meter, because from what I understand, there is a lot of times radiation levels really high. Even if you can't actually get a print, just to kind of verify that you did see something that was out of the ordinary, even if you really don't, even if there wasn't any tangible experience, just getting that Geiger
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Because you said you had some experience operating those, correct? The meters?
The Geiger meters?
Yes.
I think
yes.
Because from what I understand, I think it was Brian Skeech.
Yeah, my last 2 years in the Air Force, my job kind of centered around those. So,
radiation.
Yeah.
That means that you're around radiation, John. If you use the Geiger meter, yeah,
he might get lit up.
Well,
I know. Yes. Well, okay. So we actually do carry Geiger meters around when we do our research out in the field. And on one of my teams, Anomalous Studies and Observation Group, we go to the meadow pretty often.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's where we've had the portal that opened up there and showed up out of nowhere, that big cube and all this stuff. we take baseline measurements in the mornings usually, and then like throughout the day we go back and check, and at night. And anytime there's like paranormal activity, cryptid activity, UFOs, aliens, whatever's going on out there, there's usually a spike of radiation, a tiny one, sometimes a big one, but usually it's just a tiny one. And so it brings the awareness to me personally, and to a lot of people out there, that there is radiation involved in this, and it can be very dangerous. To have any kind of paranormal activity, even in your home. If there's spikes of radiation going on in your home, you're having all this paranormal activity outside the house, inside the house. You gotta pay attention to that, and I don't know what we can do about it, but there is radiation.
I wonder if the spikes in radiation, because I'm not a really scientific person, but I have to tell you, I was a believer from the get-go on all paranormal, just because I've always experienced it. But the more that I research and the more I go into the rabbit hole and the more I write, I realize that really what we call supernatural or paranormal is really scientific, what we don't understand yet. So the way I think is now, if that radiation levels are going up, would that indicate something that's changing in the field of the quantum physics of where we're at to open these portals? Could there be a connection with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's, I mean, the radiation involvement, I mean, even with the Bigfoots, I mean, we talk about trees being portals, and, the what we think are, tree knocks are actually potentially portals opening, maybe even tree portals opening, or maybe it's just them clicking their tongues too and stuff. So I don't know. There's a whole lot of questions. I don't think any of us have the answers to it, but there's a lot of speculation, and that's all we can kind of go with. But we have to. My main takeaway that I try to let people know about is like the radiation out there and stuff, and how that could be harmful.
Yeah, the Dryads, the elemental kingdom, the Dryads are known for knocking on trees. That's where knock on wood comes from. So my personal belief is that the Bigfoot, as well as other cryptids, not all, are connected to the elemental kingdom that we call the elemental kingdom. So I definitely think that, sometimes I even wonder if Bigfoot just, because the elementals are so small, most of them, they just manifest into that form. Just maybe they got a sense of humor. They want to be big and hairy. I don't know. And they don't want to come across as little, like a tree knocker, so they just manifest into a different size. Sometimes I wonder that.
Oh my gosh. I like the way you think too. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Well, okay. So getting back to the cemetery by your house, John, and you're having all this paranormal activity like that. I hate to say this, but I have my friend William Nighthawks in the chat. He's my friend who is a Lakota medicine man. He's told me.
William.
Yeah, William's there. He said hey to both of y'all a while ago. And William has told me that places like cemeteries are either like cursed, especially if it's Choctaw as well. They've either been like blessed, or there's some almost like a curse over some of that to keep that place protected at all cost. Okay, keep the land. It's sacred land. It's got to be protected at all costs.
Well, I can believe that, and that's why I don't disrespect it by going over there looking around. I never walk on that property. I show respect for it and stay away from it. In fact, the only time I was scared about that cemetery is we had this border collie, and it kept bringing home plastic flowers. I couldn't figure out where the plastic flowers were coming from. God. Then one day it dawned on me. He was going over that cemetery.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had to get rid of that dog. She found a new home.
Oh my God, John. That's wild.
There's all these plastic flowers in my yard, and I'm like, man, somebody's going to go out.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That could be bad. I mean, if you think about, the what is that? The Bell Witch Cave down in Tennessee. It's up in Tennessee to me. But in Tennessee, you take one tooth out of a grave. You know, I think those little boys had found a skull or a tooth or something, and they dropped it in the porch of the house, and then all hell broke loose. Okay, because they shouldn't have touched that tooth. Imagine. I don't think. Hopefully, the flowers wouldn't have been so potent. Okay, with curses and all that kind of stuff. But you never know. And what William
Nah,
said was,
I don't think so. But I just didn't want to, Yeah, well, that Oklahomans and Texans, they're not always the best of neighbors. So here you got a Texan moved into the land here, and his dog's over tearing the flowers off your family cemetery. No.
no, not a good
So
idea.
the dog had to go.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. So what William said was that
And it wasn't just for that. I
cryptids-
mean, that was the worst dog I've ever had.
oh no,
I've
John.
never had a dog that destructive.
John, oh my God. Oh man. Well, the theory is that the Bigfoots and the Dogmen and whatever other cryptids are out there are like summoned there to protect the sacred land, John. And so potentially the reason they're out there would be because they've been summoned there to protect that land. And I would assume maybe that's, I'm not saying they're all there because they've all been summoned there, but some of them could be.
Kind of like guardians or watch.
Well, that's possible. I have no clue why they're here. So
yeah. Well, they're probably looking in your windows at night. Do you and Monica have blinds and curtains? I hope. That's the real question.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
I think we've got a little delay here, but it's okay. DA, would you be worried about having things looking in your windows at night? I know I always had ever since I was a kid, I've always worried about, and I felt like there was something looking in my window at night because I grew up on a country farm out in the middle of the woods, and I felt like there was always something looking in my window at night. What about you?
I'm with you. I have a thing with windows. I don't like that. I like to keep mine closed at night.
Me too.
Never know.
Well, let me tell you something.
Tell us, John.
Most nights I sleep on the couch because the chemo keeps waking me up. I haven't been able to sleep good. And I don't want to disturb Monica because she's got to get up and go to work. So I don't want to be waking her up. So I'll sleep on the couch, and I got a big bay window, and it's wide open. And my thought on the whole thing is if I open my eyes to look at the window and something's looking in, it'll give me something to do.
Oh my God.
Hey, you could give Bigfoot a run for his money. I'm sure you could think of something, John. If he was looking in. Give him back something to look at, right?
Yes. Engine B. I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name, but in the chat says curtain drawn always, Catskill. So I bet you live in the Catskill Mountains up in northeastern side of the United States over there. And there's a lot of folklore that comes out of those mountains over there in the Catskills. I actually was given a remote viewing target of the Catskill crone. Good Lord, that was a scary one right there. And that was a wooden effigy doll with nails in it that somebody found. Some hikers decided it was a good idea to throw that doll in their backpack and take it into town and leave it at their house. And it unleashed a curse upon anyone who touched it, basically. And I don't know if I were to come across a cursed object or something that looked out of place, like it was using some kind of ritual or something, I wouldn't touch it. I'm sorry, I wouldn't touch it. But that happened in the Catskills.
No,
yeah. And that's just a bad idea. Okay. Some people have no survival skills too. I'm just saying they have no instincts, survival instinct, not to touch that. Something like that.
Well, I think that the mountain people in general, no matter what region, are a kind of their own. I wouldn't. They be forces not to be reckoned with. I think if that was something like that, I saw something like that, I'd walk the other way. I wouldn't even touch it. I don't think.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, me neither. Me
'Cause they
neither.
do a lot of hoodoo magic and stuff like that. That's not there by an accident. So
That's right. And William Nighthawk says you must always remember that everything is connected in the web of life. What you do to the web, you do to yourself. Yes.
I agree.
Thank you. Me too. That's why I try
Yeah,
to.
that makes sense.
It does. It does. Well, okay. Well, I have a couple more things I wanted to talk about today. Before we go today, I wanted to cover a couple of things. Now, John, I had told you last night that I covered this Miami Mall aliens incident on Monday. We gave an update of it.
Yes,
And there
dying to
was
hear about it.
yes, there was a gentleman, and now you spent a lot of time in the U.S. Air Force, and so you've got a military background. And I was wondering what you thought about. They said that there's actually a man. They're calling him Fitz, and they say that he first of all they've classified that incident at the Miami Mall that happened on January 1st, 2024. They said it was just a bunch of kids fighting or something. It wasn't a big deal, but there was a huge police presence. But at a congressional hearing, they said that a man testified that that incident is actually classified now. And there's a gentleman who has a video of whatever happened that day in this Miami Mall aliens incident, who has a video, and they are looking for him. He is an enemy of the state right now because he has this video. He witnessed whatever that was that happened, and he also has video of it, and he's been deemed a literal enemy of the state. Is that normal, John? And what do you think about that?
Well, I don't know if you would call anything like that normal. Now, the Air Force can't make him an enemy of the state. The government has to do that. And I can't think of why if it was nothing, if it was just kids fighting, why would he be an enemy of the state? There's got to be
Right.
There's got to be something to it. There's got to be some piece of something that's important for him to be termed an enemy of the state. If he's got a video running around a bunch of kids fighting, so what? You can pick that up on YouTube, in 3 minutes. So if he's got something, he's been classified an enemy of the state, he has something the state wants or doesn't want to get out, is the only thing I can think of.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what this man
So-
said because I transcribed it from the hearing. And he said, this guy's a New York resident. And he said, okay, so this is what they said about Fitz. He witnessed something classified. So he witnessed something classified and captured footage of the event that is now, as of now, remains classified and has not been retrieved by the federal government. If that footage is revealed, it could have profound implications, is what they said. The civilian has this footage and information that is classified and has not been retrieved by the Department of Homeland Security. Their procedures have not normally been taken care of this rapidly. So what they're saying is like they usually go in, and if somebody has something that they saw or had it on a video, they'll go swipe it from them immediately, is what they admitted to. And they said that he has been declared an enemy of the state, not due to any malicious thing he has done, but due to the nature of what he witnessed and the material he possesses. And it's an ongoing federal investigation.
And that's the criteria. That's the criteria of what I was saying. He has something he's not supposed to have. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then just think about it. If it
yeah,
was
I'd
just
like
a
to
bunch
see
of
it,
kids fighting, why would they have a congressional hearing over that? That doesn't make any sense at all.
Exactly.
None.
Well, it makes me wonder about the future of like disclosure too, because if there's something that happened, I mean, I was given that incident at the Miami Mall as a remote viewing target, a blind target. And what I saw was a hologram. I was seeing holograms, man-made holograms is what I saw. Okay. And so I never from the get-go, after I was told what that target was, I was like, I don't think these were real aliens. They were some kind of hologram.
So,
I think it was a psyop.
Yeah, what I think is the reason why it's so they don't want it out is because it could have been a trial of what's to come with Project Bluebeam. That's why they don't want it out. They were probably test running it, don't you think? That was like a little area that they could, you
That
know,
could be
have.
it. And
Yeah.
the problem with government disclosure, is they're only going to disclose what they want you to know. You're not getting the full story. You're
No.
just getting what they want you to know.
Right.
That's right.
And it's
And
only
they're
gonna
looking
take
for a
8 years
result.
to find out about Roswell, right? So
Mhm.
we'll just get a little. They're admitting it now, so 80 years later, that's probably all we're gonna get.
Oh yeah, I've got to wonder, like, could it have been that he videoed a setup or something? Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like this is just more, to me, this is a lot of theater, but this is just my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. Okay.
I think that, but so Jessica, but serious, like if it was like Project Bluebeam and they're just like a test run, you know, there's so much technology with people that edit and do that for a living that they could take something like that and they could see that this was man-made, and that's why they don't want it out, because then it's going to blow their whole charade of the Project Bluebeam when all the stuff starts happening in the sky. You know, they don't want us to have any indication on that, and I would say that's what it is.
I agree.
Yeah, they can. You know, there's a lot of people out, not maybe a lot of people, but there's more people than ever before that would have that capability to decipher that.
Cryptiville, my friend Mark Maycheck's in the chat. He said, technically, we are all enemies of the state. Kind of, probably.
He's right.
But he's right. Okay, a quick commercial break. A Mariel Dark Flame, thank you so much for that super sticker. It says, happy early Thanksgiving to you and your fam. God bless. Thank you so much. God bless you, and happy Thanksgiving to you too. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that so much. And so thank you. Yeah, I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. My gosh, I bet some of y'all are in there cooking right now. I bet you are. There you go, Cryptiville. You are not wrong. Okay. You are, I don't think you're ever wrong, actually. I'm just saying. But yeah, it's just for the future of like disclosure though. I mean, it could also be a double pronged, I guess you could call it, like kind of a thing where it's almost, to me, it felt like a setup to like stop people from continuing on with their disclosure, or like putting out videoed ETs or any kind of thing they catch on camera, because in fear of like the government coming and taking it. And if they don't get it, they'll make you an enemy of the state and ruin your life. You know what I mean? It's just strong arming the general public, I think. But that's my opinion for entertainment purposes only.
Of course.
Yeah.
Valid opinion.
Yes. John, last time you came on, we talked about 3-Eye Atlas. Do you have any new opinions on the 3-Eye Atlas? I was going to ask DA as well.
Well, you remember Nikki, who was on the show with us?
Yes.
She was my 3-Eye Atlas expert, and I would see this stuff saying, oh, it's this, it's this, it's that, it's UFO, it's stopped, it's changed, it's altered its course, and I just keep sending it to her, and she said, no, it hasn't. So I just kind of think, I don't know what it was. It wasn't near as spectacular as some of the stuff I saw, as far as I could tell. I trust Nikki's a highly intelligent woman, and she just kind of said it, kind of a big nothing burger. It came in and left pretty much like they predicted it would, and nothing happened. So, but now you're telling me about the SWAN 25. What's going on with it?
Yeah. Well, first of all, okay, so we're not done with 3-Eye Atlas yet. It's going to be closest to Earth on December the 18th. There's actually a countdown website. There's a website you can go to. It's like 3eyeatlas.com or something. I don't know. I pulled it up about a week ago to show the audience. And but this is it's coming. Somebody in the chat that they said that was their birthday. Okay, so it's on their birthday. It has to the minute and to the second. They have exactly pinpointed to when it's going to pass by the Earth the closest. It's still not going to be anywhere near us, but it's going to be the closest.
December 18th, did you
December
say?
the 18th, yes, December 18th.
It's Keith Richards' 81st birthday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Did you say Keith Richards? Like the rock star?
Yes.
Oh, that explains it.
He doesn't look
You're
a day
coming back
over
to get
100.
him.
He looks a day over 100.
I'm just kidding. Look, no shade. He does look kind of old, but anyways.
Hey, he's still jamming though. He's
He
still
is.
jamming.
He's got more life in him than a lot of people. Okay,
Yes, he
so
does.
I get it. He's had a good, fun life. I can promise you.
Has.
Yeah. But anyways, man. Okay, so it is going to be coming past the Earth on December the 18th, the closest to Earth. And there's been a lot of hype up about it. Like there's like different camps. Some think it's like, it's coming to save humanity. Other people say, well, there's got reptilians on it. They're going to come invade the planet, or, I don't know. I think that it's just.
I don't buy into it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think reason they're highlighting 3i Atlas and SWAN 25 and some other interstellar objects. I think it's to awaken humanity. Yes, I think it's a good way to do that. But I don't think it's going to really affect us like people are thinking.
They said it was going to land on October 29th because that was my daughter's birthday. It never came.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know what I believe? I believe Jeremy Corbell told us a couple years ago, the big lie that they want us to believe is coming. And it's going to be coming from another galaxy heading our way to Earth. And when I saw that, I've been following him for 20 years. He's an independent filmmaker, and he's very much in proximity with the disclosure that's happening in the congressional hearings with George Knapp. But you know what? You were asking about the Miami Mall. I think it's a very good possibility that could be holographic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it is. Listen, just think about it. If it was something from far away, they wouldn't be going 144,000 miles an hour for months and months. They would be traveling in a different way. They would have their technology. They wouldn't have to travel that way. They would be going through portals and dimensions, and if they're interdimensional, if they were coming in, or even if they were extraterrestrial, they wouldn't be coming that way. I don't believe. I think it's holographic. I don't think it's even a real thing.
Yes, I can agree with that. I think a lot of this stuff is holographic too. Like those Miami Malls aliens, that was a blind target, and I was seeing holograms when I was remote viewing it. So anyways, we're a cut above over here on the Cryptid Hunters channel. We know we're ready for anything. Okay. But we're side eyeing all this stuff too. Some of us are.
Well, do you remember that? Do you remember that series, The V Nation? Because I feel like it's almost predictive programming. It's predictive programming for people to just buy into it with all these theories out there. And they said it's the size of Manhattan. Isn't that what was on the V Nation?
That's right.
It was up there blocking the sun out, and it was over New York City.
That is so wild that you said that, because when I was given that target of 3i Atlas, I've been given that target twice by two different people to remote view as a blind target. And the first time I remote viewed it, V, the movie the TV show V was in my data.
Oh, that's really?
I swear. Yes, I swear.
I feel like it's predictive. I think it's predictive programming, which takes me into a reason why they do it, because I think we as humans are more powerful than we think. And so when you have a group of people, let's just say 1 million people believe that it is something that's coming in to save humanity. You got 1 million people on a collective level believing that, and that's what's going to manifest. Then you got the other ones, and I think that's what's happening. We're on a whole new level now with our consciousness is rising every day. And I think it's predictive.
I do too. I 100% agree with you, DA. Like I said, I love the way you think. That's what I think too. And Hillbilly Herb has a good point, and this is what I was going to bring up today, is that they're saying that 3i Atlas is on one side of the Earth, and then SWAN 25 is on the other. We're being flanked right now. And so it's kind of, first of all, I think that is a way to get people really concerned and upset. Okay. But that's what they're saying now. And that it's almost kind of ominous. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, they're on both sides. So like maybe they're planning something. I don't know. We don't live in fear over here on the Cryptid Hunters channel.
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't.
We don't. But it is interesting if that is the case. If they're why are they on two sides of the earth like that? Like,
well, you know, with that being said, maybe on one side of the earth, they'll see Muhammad in the sky, and maybe on the other side of the earth, we'll see Christ come out.
That's true.
You got that going on, and of course, that would be holographic, and it's going to look really real. It's going like I think people are just going to drop over dead when something like that happens because of the disconnect, just blowing everything that they ever thought of reality is not going to be the case. People are just, their hearts are going to stop. I just really don't. And it doesn't even have to be real because it's going to look real. It's going to be our reality, but it's not, it's fake. It's fake reality.
Oh yeah. Well, no matter what, we're in for a ride. I'm just thinking. I mean,
wild ride.
Yes, we're in for a ride. I don't know what we've got going on in this next year. I mean, I'm excited about it. I'm here for it. I mean, there's a reason we're here talking about it today, and it's to spread the awareness. It's not just what the media is going to put out and tell us it is. There's something more to it, and it might be even if it is a planned event and it's not real, but it's still going to cause mass chaos no matter what. You know what I mean?
What's that FBI agent? Do you know who I'm talking about? The whistleblower? I think his name's John
Sousa.
Yes, but something he said a couple years ago really stuck with me. And he was talking about Project Blue Beam. And he was saying, and I'm not saying that just because it's a hologram that cities aren't going to be demolished, because they are. Yeah. Don't you remember that? He said, there will be buildings destroyed because we have that kind of weaponization now. It's not like they're going to have any mercy. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. But I think the more aware of that you are, and just know that you don't have a spirit of fear in you. Don't let that fear take over. And I love your attitude about, I can't wait till 2026 comes because I'm down for it, man. Let's just go.
Yeah, let's roll, man.
Let's roll.
Yeah, bring it on out. We're ready for whatever. We've got our toilet paper and our storable foods. We're good to go for a little while. We got the ammo boxes ready and stuff. I don't know. But anyways, I know John's ready, aren't you, John? You ready? You ready to roll when the 3-eye Atlas comes down?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Got all the supplies out there.
Yeah.
We better not talk about that. Somebody will be coming at your door.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Y'all leave John alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay Trusiger says latest news report was SWAN, R2, and 3-eye Atlas are both hungry for some Thanksgiving. But actually, just kidding. Yes, they're coming. They're coming to eat some crazy turkeys down here. We're a bunch of turkeys. That's what we are to them. And that is kind of the truth. We are seen as turkeys to some of these ETs, I think. So, but anyways, we're doing our part trying to raise the consciousness so we're not looked at as turkeys, I guess. But anyways, I don't know. I think we're all going to be okay, and if we're not, we're not. I guess
what I think. I think that we don't know how powerful we are as a species, but they know how powerful we are as a species, and I think that's why they try to control our perception on the way things are. Because when we really literally start realizing our own power, that's when things are really going to shift to a whole new level. And I think they fear us. I don't think we should fear them. We just have to stand together.
We sure do. Team human. Look, we're team human. Okay, that's what I am. I'm not a big fan of the robots and stuff. And but yes, we're definitely team human. Daniel says he's getting on 3-eye Atlas and he's going to drive that thing. Okay, you're going to drive that thing.
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
I call.
Well, you come pick us up. I know. Come pick us all up. I have heard a theory that it's like some reptilians coming on 3-eye Atlas coming to pick up all the star seeds that are here. I've heard that. Now, do I?
Reptilians are already here underground.
Exactly. They're
Why would
already
they have
here.
to come months and months? Like they wouldn't have to travel that way. I don't believe that.
They're running our government.
Yeah, they're here. They're all. I actually have a book that's going to be coming out in the next 2 years called Soul Snatchers, and it's going to be about the reptilians. And I kind of excited about it, but I dread it because I feel like it's going to be so violent and so sexual that I'm not. It's going to be hard for me to be in that headspace because it's one of those topics that probably frightens me the most.
Oh my gosh.
The reptilians.
Yes, the reptilians are one of the scarier topics to talk about. I have covered them extensively. I've even had at least 2 people on my show who claim to be reptilians.
No
Later,
way. Well, you'll
one
have to
of them-
send me those links.
Oh man, and it's really weird because after they came on my show, I think that both of them had turned against me and stuff. It was weird. Like they got really mean.
Have you ever had
They got really mean.
Have you ever had James Bartley on your show?
No, but I think I've met James. I think I met him down at a conference.
I love his work. I have
to check him
learned
out.
so much about James. He's amazing. He is really. I have followed his work for very many years. He's amazing. He's really good.
If he's the same person I'm thinking of, I don't know if this is the same person, but I think I met him at the Full Disclosure Now conference down in Florida.
Yes.
Okay.
This summer.
That's him. Okay,
Yeah.
that was okay. I spoke at that
amazing.
conference.
He is one of my favorites.
Okay, well, I'm going to hit him up. I need to get him on my show too.
Yes,
sometime. He hasn't been on my show yet.
Yeah, I'll be looking for that one. He is amazing. He really is.
Thank you. Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, I can't wait to get into your books, DA. They sound so amazing. And,
Thank you.
Don't ever be scared to put out stuff that's little risque like that. People like it. Okay, they like to read it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially my audience. My audience loves stuff like that, don't y'all? Okay.
I'm actually
reptilians.
adding one more book to the series on special request of Ronald Murphy, my friend, who has written a couple forewords, and he wanted me to do the squonk. And I'm going to add him in per se from his request as he's going to actually meet the team of the Monster Hunters of America. And they're going to go to Chestnut Ridge and they're going to investigate the squonk, which he did write a book just recently about that. And I had never heard of that cryptid before. So I'm really excited about adding that to my series.
Well, Ron Murphy is a cryptid himself.
He's a guru. He is the guru.
I'm just kidding. I love Ron. I haven't talked to him in a while, and I need to get him back on the show. He's a hoot. We work well together. I like him.
Yes, I do.
Good
too.
fella.
Really enjoy it. I enjoy working with him too.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
And John, you're amazing, and I really appreciate you writing my foreword. I really do. And I look forward to doing the collaboration on an upcoming book. We don't even have the title yet.
You're very welcome. I enjoy your book.
I know we've been really supportive of each other over. John gave me a great review on my book Soul Catchers, which is about the aliens, and it actually ties in. They start out as a paranormal investigator, and it ties in the phenomena of how all of it comes together. You think it's just about a haunted story, or you just think it's about aliens, and you soon find out that there's a lot more to it. But John wrote a great review for my book a couple years ago. I appreciate that too. We need to support each other.
Oh yeah,
independence. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I love John's Relics. The first time I read one of his books, I think it was 150,000 words. Is that what it was? It was a big book.
His books are all big.
Yeah, I got a little wordy.
I loved it though. I love the series. It inspired me to write my own Bigfoot book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, listen. This has been a fantastic show today, y'all. I have really enjoyed having both of y'all on the show today.
Yeah,
and I want to promote both of y'all's books. I mean, both you got multiple sets of books, both of y'all, and so let's start off with DA. Let's talk about your books and let's tell everybody where to purchase them and stuff too. Tell us about your books. I'll pull some pictures up.
Okay, well, the Creeper Keepers, like I said before, was on Amazon you can get them, and they refer to them as a 2-hour read, so they're really easy to read. Anywhere from haunted houses to the haunted road trip, the creepiest cemetery ever, killer clowns and the crazed YouTube, urban legends, just really kind of like a goosebump feel. And they're not really interconnected, so they all have their own characters. And then I went into the monster. Then I had the Soul Catchers, which is the about the UFO abduction and the tying into the paranormal field. And my book here locally, which is The Ghosts of Northern Kentucky, it's a historical fiction, but it is actually just really talking about our history here in Northern Kentucky, being the original Sin City before Las Vegas came to be about. We have a lot of mobster ties around here. Bobby Mackey's was about 2 miles down the road. The Syndicate, all that bootlegging and brothels and all the things that go bump in the night. And then I came into the Monster Hunters of America, which I'm getting ready to release my 19th book of that series in December. Bigfoot, Hunting for Bigfoot. And that is basically starts out in Nazi Germany, ties into when she flees to America and is commissioned by the OSS at the time, which later becomes the CIA. And so you have like a broad range from 1944 to 1964, where it ends with JFK assassination, which I have a funny story about that. When I finished writing that book, I closed my laptop. And in the book, it says that I portray it that the CIA actually put the hit on him and killed him. And that was within 10 minutes of when President Trump had been attempted assassination. And when I got on Twitter, it was just, that's the kind of stuff that happens to me all the time with this Monster Hunters of America. I can't even really take credit for writing them. I just basically have to sit down and channel it coming in. It's almost like it's almost like an automatic writing. And then within 10 minutes on X, they were talking about the tie of MK Mind Control with the guy that actually attempted to assassinate him, which is how my book ended in the book Unleashed. So it goes anywhere from, the Rougarou down in Louisiana, the Kentucky, Land Between the Lakes with the Dogman, the Frogman in Loveland, which is Cincinnati, Ohio. We've got the Gargoyle. I mean, there's just everything that you can imagine. And so by the time that it's all finished up, that'll be, I'll be adding the skunk onto that. So that's pretty much where I'm at. And after I get that series finished, I am going to be writing my first paranormal romance novel, and I'll probably be starting that sometime in the summer. So I'm excited about that because it's going to be a completely different kind of book. So,
oh my gosh, I love that. You know what? That just made me think when I first started doing podcasting, I got approached because is it like a cryptid romance? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's going to actually be, it's actually going to be a woman. I can't really decide whether she's lost a lover or a partner or a husband, but she goes and she decides to start a coffee shop that is haunted. It's going to be kind of like it's going to be kind of like a modern day Ghost of Mrs. Mural kind of thing. It's going to be a love story, romance, and I'm not quite sure what's going to happen after that. I got the cover, I got the concept in my mind, but like right now I'm writing about monsters. So,
oh my gosh.
So that's what it's going to be. It's like a modern day Ghost of Mrs. Mural. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but I personally would love to be up somewhere in Maine when I start writing that book, because that's kind of like the feel. But it is going to be, the setting is going to be here in Northern Kentucky. Just like she comes in and just gets this building, it's haunted. She starts this coffee shop, and the next thing you know, there's all kinds of things that go on, bump in the night. So I'm excited about that book.
Oh my God, I love that. I love it. Gosh, you have so many books. I love that. You do stay busy.
All I do is write. I don't get out very much. I need to start getting out to these conferences. I'd love to go get some boots on the ground. We talked about maybe meeting up down at Land Between the Lakes with the boys. I would love that.
Oh yeah. Yes. I think that's great. Yes. We got to get the kids out there. Take them to the scariest place we can find. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're not
The
going
land
to
between the
Bell Witch,
lakes.
though. I don't want to.
Yes. Uh-oh. Oh no, we lost DA. Yeah, the Bell Witch, I don't know. I would rather go
Well,
Bigfooting than go to a haunted curse cave, I think.
yeah, I
I
would
would
too.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, John. John, okay, well, DA, hopefully she'll come back. We've lost her video feed there. John, let's talk about relics in Nepal and all your books.
Let's
Tell the
talk
audience
about
about
it.
your books. Let's talk about it.
Okay, Relic was actually my first book I ever wrote. I never intended to be an author. I never intended to write Relics. A friend and my sister kind of talked me into it. It's a Bigfoot book, and I didn't know much about Bigfoot. I'd always been a UFO guy. Started researching Bigfoot, and there was just so much stuff, and I wanted to use it all in the novel. So the novel's pretty large. Right now, it's being re-edited. I hired a publisher out of Canada, and they're doing human editing and human proofreading, and we've got 4 chapters left, and I'll be releasing the 3rd edition of it, and hopefully within the next month or so. Work's coming along good. Should have been done last year, but like I say, the illness hit. And Relics is weird because DA and I kind of traveled the same route. By Relics 2, I'm introducing UFOs, World War II backdrop, Roswell, the Kenneth Arnold, the early UFO stuff. By Relics 3, we full blown into the presence of a fallen angel. I'm using a World War II history, the Kecksburg sighting. Anyway, I'm just kept adding characters, and they're all interesting. Gain a few, I lose a few. So after the Relic series, I started on the fall, and I decided, well, I really like those Relics characters, and they could be used in this book. So the fall is basically a continuation of Relics. I'm about to finish the fall 2, and the fall also brings the Shadow Chasers characters in as well, because they were teenagers, and the fall's far enough ahead that now they're full-blown adults, and they're caught up in all this too. So Nepal will completely end all the Relic series and the Fall series and Shadow Chaser series. However, I am gonna write a Relics 4 kind of bridging Nepal and Relics together better. And after that, I'm just gonna start on some different stuff. I'd kind of like to do some World War II history novels that had to do with supernatural, and some that don't. So and some aviation stuff. And I'll still be on the cryptids and on the supernatural though.
Oh, sweet. I love your
And
books,
of course,
John. I really do.
well,
Mhm.
thank you.
I do.
Me
I have
too,
all
I
your
love
books.
them too.
Yes, they are so good. They are so good. All these books you guys have seen on the show today would make great Christmas gifts, y'all. I'm just saying. Okay, and I know my audience are wonderful in supporting our favorite authors and things like that. So y'all go buy some books. I've actually got. Let's see if I have the banners pulled up here. Well, Relics, John, you can get your books where on relicsbooks.com.
Correct.
That's right. Okay. Relicsbooks.com for John's books, y'all. And then look on Amazon for author D.A. Wysong on Amazon. If you go to the description box on this video, you guys, there's links to just click on those links and it takes you straight to where their books are. Okay. So, yeah. This is amazing, y'all. I really had a great time, and I hope both of y'all will come back and see me.
Oh,
come hang out with
had a
me.
blast. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for having me, and it was great seeing you guys, seeing you again, John, and meeting you, Jessica. I've been watching your show for years. I love your stuff.
Oh, thank you. Well, you're going to have to come back and be my guest again. Okay. Soon.
Do that.
Please. Okay. Well, now we're friends. Okay. Now we know each other. We're not just friends on Facebook.
Friends of the end. Hey, and
Yes.
I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. You know, we need to really be grateful for the little things. That's for sure. You know, there's a lot of ugly in the world, but there's always beauty there too. So just, you know, I'm looking forward to my family, and I don't, like I said, well, you can see why I don't get out much. I'm always writing. So it's going to feel good to come up for air for a minute.
Oh yes. Well,
Get my belly full.
I can't wait to eat. I got a lot of cooking to do today. I think a lot of us do.
I do too. I have quite a bit to do, and I'm even making deviled eggs, and I don't know if I can trust myself because
oh my God, I'm in charge of the deviled eggs this year. Oh my gosh.
I'm doing the honey ham, some dressing, and then I've got the deviled eggs in a pie. And when I think about them deviled eggs, Jessica, I'm thinking, I don't know if I can trust myself because I'm worried.
I know. I know. Well, I like to
see myself eating one, putting 3 down, eating another one.
I'm the same, but I'm also making my signature dish that I always bring is hash brown casserole. I don't know. Do y'all ever, what does everybody make? Y'all put it in the chat. Y'all put it in the comments. What is everybody's signature dish? Because that's mine. Now y'all know. See, I don't know if there's some kind of like personality profiling from like what people cook the best.
Well,
I don't know.
I am known.
That's my thing.
Dressing, and I use Italian sausage in mine, and it really adds nice to it. Yeah.
Gosh, I'm getting hungry. John, do you cook anything, John, or do you let Monica do all that?
He just eats.
He just eats.
No, he does a lot.
Yeah, I do a lot of cooking, but this year I'm just in charge of sweet potatoes and the mashed potatoes, I think. So nothing too hard.
Well, good. Well, I am so thankful for both of y'all for being here today. I'm thankful for my audience. I'm thankful for Bigfoot. I'm thankful for everything, y'all.
I'm grateful for you guys too. And we all gotta love Bigfoot. He's the king.
Yes, absolutely.
The king of cryptids.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, y'all. Well, y'all have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank y'all so much for being here. I want to thank everybody. Absolutely. Thanks to everybody who gave super stickers today. Muriel, thank you so much. And also, let's see, Maureen and Gus as well. Thank y'all so much. Jason Finch, thank you for being a member of the Hunt Club for a month. And let's see. Oh, Long Island Bigfoot. Thank you so much, Mike. Says chicken fingers and tater logs crew. That's right. Thank you for being a member of the Hunt Club for 19 months. That is my channel membership here on YouTube. I put exclusive content out. If anybody wants to become a member of that, you can join today. Just hit the join button on my YouTube channel. And yes, I do. We may have chicken fingers and tater logs and Vienna sausages, y'all, for Thanksgiving, or maybe not. I don't know. I do have some country in me. I still do. And, but anyways, y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and please come back and see me. We will have a show tomorrow night, but it may not be live, but I will be in this chat tomorrow night. I don't want my moderators to feel obligated. I don't ever want y'all to feel obligated to be here ever. But I'm just saying, I don't spend time with your families, y'all, tomorrow. And I will have a show running tomorrow, and I will be in the live chat. But I will be back live on Saturday with Jerry Millwood of Rebel Casa, I think is how he pronounces it. But y'all remember Jerry? He's the one that had the dog, his little dog who ran away, and then it came back smelling like BO real bad and stuff. And he thinks a Bigfoot or feral person had taken it. So out of the North Carolina mountains. So Jerry's coming back on the show on Saturday night. It's going to be a great show. And so, yeah, y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. John, thank you so much for being here. And DA, thank you so much for being here.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And
thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of y'all.
Happy Thanksgiving,
okay, y'all.
everybody.
Yes, y'all have a wonderful holiday, and meet me back here. I'll be here tomorrow night, live in the chat. All right, y'all. All right, bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.